an Icebox pick. Very exciting stuff. How you feeling about this one, Bemi?
Feeling I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm feeling good in the sense that we get the cats more Valorant, but in the sense of like seeing how it goes for Brimstone Gaming, a team that usually just they make playoffs, but then I don't see them much going on. Usually it's heavy hitters with some other events going on right now. We have such a nice little opening to start seeing some players just get a little moment of time, maybe finally build that confidence and start taking on the heavier ones. Because yeah, I mean, it's I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you at home, folks. Prospect is on fire, and even after Zoomer Academy, they look pretty dominant. Close game, but Brimstone, they really want to try to bring this home. They gotta win this. They just gotta. They need to win Haven, and they need to. I think honestly, not bring it to Icebox because I think Icebox is something that prospects I think could get away with a lot of bloody murder. But we're already seeing some interesting agent picks as well. Starting off with Haven, really disappointing to see no Brimstone for Brimstone Gaming. That's a huge disappointment. But I'm happy to see some good Sentinel play, some smart picks with the duelist. Interesting to see Hoppin rocking the
Raise, yeah.
Raise, yeah, as opposed to Hoppin going on this breach. That shows me that a lot of the mentality of some FC, if you heard about them, they're a famous EU team in the Valorant scene that when First Strike happened, they made waves. They actually won one of the qualifiers to get into First Strike. And one of the mentalities of the leader of some FC said is to not have agent specialties, but more people that specialize specific agents for each map. So it's more map dependent than anything else. So we'll see if that play comes into theory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was thinking the same thing once I saw, I think it was Josh Ortiz on, was it Josh Ortiz on the breach?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Ortiz on the breach instead of Hoppin on the Rays. I was kind of
Josh
taken
is the
aback.
omen. What's going on?
Yeah, I know. What is going on? I mean, they're kind of agent hopping. We saw miniature on multiple agents today. We saw Viper, Killjoy, and now I can't even remember who. Was it the Omen? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, crazy stuff from this team, and the fact that they can do this, yeah, miniature on the Omen. The fact that they could do this is definitely scary stuff.
It is scary, but you know what's scarier? Is some good old prioritizing of utility, as we do see from Brimstone Gaming. Very smart and wise of them. Going to try to rush into this with the old A, move in and try to murder people as quick as they can. That is sort of what they hope to do, as they will have priority over that. It is a little bit of a pause real quick because tech pause is happening. So why don't we try to energize this, tech pause with some Red Bull, Choice?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're a college student and you play Valorant, you are already kind of in the running for the Red Bull Campus Clutch, which is a global 5v5 Valorant tournament open to university students from over 50 countries. So, I mean, you have 50. A shot. Absolutely. Head on over to redbullcampusclutch.com to apply now. You'll be able to see all of the universities, excuse me, I was going to say all the campuses, eligible to get on into this, and it is a lot. Trust me, it is a lot, so head on over to redbullcampusclutch.com to apply right now. This competition is going to challenge players of all levels to team up, represent their campus, and compete in the world stage to make history for their university and country. Super sick opportunity for Red Bull, so don't forget to head on over to redbullcampusclutch.com. Just throwing it out there a couple of times so you remember. This is exciting stuff from Red Bull. We're still in this tech pause, but once again, don't forget to head on over there. But also, get ready for this. What's that?
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. So let's call out some universities. Who's the university that you want to win?
Oh,
the American qualifier.
Come on. We're here in Columbus, Ohio. So that means Ohio
Miami
State.
University.
Okay.
Oh. Never mind. Okay.
No, we're talking straight up Ohio State University. Definitely rooting for them to go at least insanely far in this. And if I read correctly, the grand finals is in Spain. So if you,
wow.
So if you, if you make it far, if you make it to the grand finals, or I can't remember exactly where, but that's all the way in Spain. Exciting stuff.
Madrid's a popular place.
Oof, yes, would
You
be
know,
beautiful.
Madrid, I would Madrid to miss that trip. So anyway, so I am all right. Well, I don't have any university to root for, so I lived in a lot of different states, so I couldn't care less about landmass teams. But if I have to say anything, I do root for the LSU homies from time to time. They're good. They're a good chapter. I do love the purple and gold. Gotta root for them. But I will say, no matter what, if you win, I was gonna make a student debt joke, but never mind.
Okay.
Anyways, so
Oh no.
well, anyways, I'm sure I would love to see the NA universities. That's so cool. We've never really seen like collegiate like international tournaments. I think that is so cool, and I think should be practiced more. We have such an international sort of pipeline going on for a lot of different systems, but to kind of bridge that gap as well from that collegiate competitive level, so cool. Thank you, Red Bull, for doing that. Shout out to them. Qualify. If you're not LSU, get out of here. No, just kidding. Everybody sign up. But let's get into this. Enough of my awkwardness about colleges. Let's go into this awkward phase where I thought it was going to be a main, but no, never mind. It is just going to be Brimstone Gaming vibing out in the spawn, seeing what they can do here, looking at the billboard, seeing when Masters is happening. They know the dates are happening around March, and they are going to be ready to watch them. But are they ready to watch out for a longest? We do see the Exalt is ready to see the screen come up, and they do see the cage go up, and that's going to be a bit of a bait. They might start early rotating. Yes, they will. C is open, but the good news is that if C is all by itself, usually on the defense, you kind of want to let alone the take a player advantage. Hopping. Seeing what happened over here. They do hear the footsteps. They are going to go in there saying, it's a bait, guys. It's a bait. You got to come back here. There's going to be so many dangerous people. And they do. The smokes come up. The plants come in. The post-plant situation is ideal. And the retake is going to be quite the task ahead of them for prospects.
Yes, it is, but it looks like they are set up to get a good one here, except for DBK and this Jet are chilling, as well as Skim on the backside, waiting for any sort of weird rotations from the backside, but not this time. Hoppin is going to get the party started onto CKY with the paint shells. Reach is going to get a nice double kill in the favor of Brimstone Gaming. Not going to be able to finish it up again, but DBK gets the nice trade out. There's a lot going on here in this pistol round, but DBK getting the headshots out, and it looks like Brimstone Gaming are going to finish this one off, and they're going to pick up the pistol round here at the start of the grand finals of the Valorant Sunday Showdown.
Wow, winning out the pistol round in such an efficient way. I did not think prospects would fall into... Was that really just the cage? Was it seriously just the cage that just made them rotate that early into it? I mean, granted, you want to disengage from that site as quick as you can on the defense to retake, but I mean, the more time you have to sort of start rotating over to that site, the more time you burn for the spike, obviously. So it's interesting to see that took them a while to go into rotate. Good back and forth trades. Prospects Brimstone in a good post-plane situation. Prospects eager to just get this eco round out of the way, maybe take some guns out. It is going to be pretty much a throwaway round because prospects don't want to mess around too much.
Well, absolutely, and I have to say, Miniature, these good-for-one angles have been so crazy from prospects. And look, he's going to be able to pick up the Spectre and stay alive, get another one, and my goodness, this is insane!
Oh my gosh, two already off the bat. You've done already enough damage. You almost are going to get another assist as well. This is looking very dire for Brimstone. Even though they have the weapon advantage, they are just met with so much pressure. Hoppin really wants to get another one. They're very eager. They know they're hanging out in Gubby, but it's really worth it for them just to wait for their team to come back. But they're never mind. They're going to get one more, and Reach is just down there all by them. Some very little health. Dynamic saves the day. It's a 2v2 situation. They can't get the Spectre. So, in theory, this should be still in favor for Brimstone. But my goodness, as my friend would say, prospects making it very painful for Brimstone.
It is. Still, the health pools aren't amazing on the side of Brimstone Gaming. This Jet having a hard time, but the guns are just in the favor of Brimstone Gaming at the moment. And it looks like this Jet is still staying alive with almost no health right now. Jae Sung trying to get something done. 7 HP on the Jet. But it's looking like the hail of bullets from Brimstone Gaming is just a little bit too tough at the moment. And Dynamics is going to finish that round 2 off with a triple kill on Jae-Sung. And there it is. What a crazy round. But my goodness, Bemi, I was going to bring it up last game, but with Prospects, but it's just been too crazy with how Prospects play. These good for one angles that they hold, they're so good at them that they turn those good for one rounds or angles into a good for two, good for three angle. And that's what it takes. If you could stay alive when you're hanging out that close, that aggressive, that pushed out, man, it's dangerous for the other team. And Prospects, they are good at that. Jae-Sung picking up a couple of pings there with the recon dart. And Brimstone Gaming kind of in a merry-go-round in mid here.
Yeah, well, they certainly want to keep them on their toes. Already getting Jae-Sung off the bat is pretty massive. Good close playing situation on to be. They're actually not going to go out into mid. They're just going to rush out, get the players in connector. They have the Neurosets online as well, so you know exactly where everyone is. As Cypher said, Hoppin tried to get the opening, moving in on their team, able to get a second one. But there is somebody at window. That's going to also reveal them. They know exactly where they are. Dynamics able to close it out. And already Brimstone Gaming onto a very commanding lead. Prospects, I do respect them so much for how aggressive they've been and just making it expensively close. But now Brimstone, they're in a pretty okay economic situation. They should be able to have some good fortune on their way as another eco has to come out from Prospects.
Yeah, very interesting start from Brimstone Gaming. I feel like at the beginning of the round, they are definitely giving the respect that Prospects deserves. They're, you know, they're staying a little slow. They're not they're not pushing angles. They're keeping it tight. But then once something happens, once the pick happens, they go in real hard and they rotate right away. So that's I really got to hand it to Brimstone Gaming. They are taking it to Prospects right now, and it's looking pretty good at the start here on Haven. Haven is that really weird triple site map. Oh my goodness, Exalt comes around.
Okay.
What?
Oh, I like them. I like the damage. All right, cool. I don't think they're really going to be able to get much from that. Jae-Sung whiffing. No way to sugarcoat that. That was just unfortunately not a lot of shots landed. I'm sure that will make up for lost time. There is a tag on one of the players of Brimstone, which is at least something for their trouble. Miniature just going to shoot into the dark. The smokes, the post plant, it's all ideal. And oh, they should be good. Go. Actually, let's see what happens. Maybe just to bait them out. Gonna go for the defuse. Miniature did what they could. It was an eco round after all. Oh gosh, Prospects, they know how to bring it to them. That is just so good. I love it.
Wow. I mean, this is a really commanding start from Brimstone. This is probably one of those maps where they are just so confident on it, and it's definitely showing. But now we're seeing the operator in the hands of Exalt, and this is where it kind of gets a little dicey for Brimstone Gaming. They're going to have to use their utility to the fullest extent to keep that operator off of those angles that really kind of deter them. And so, but they have the composition to do it. They have the breach with all those flashpoints. They have a ton of utility, but here it comes. Miniature. It's going to be able to get one. It's going to try and back out as fast as possible as the Roomba.
What?
What is going on?
Oh my gosh, what the hell happened?
Hoppin is going to be able to get a double kill with the Roomba.
Wow. Talk about, that's a real homie right there. That's the bomb homie. That's not a bomb buddy. That's a homie right there. Getting two. Wow. I think that was just because Miniature just pushed up sewers and managed to get 2 tags. That was insane in the membrane. That can't just, I just have no words. Skim now is going to have to just play this sort of Metal Gear style, try to take on 1v1s as much as they can. Jae-Sung was the first challenge, fortunately could not pass that. Prospects finally get on the board, but give credit where credit is due. Brimstone Gaming still staying consistent with 4 rounds in the lead, means that they can buy back into this. So Prospects got a little glimmer of hope now to make this defense something of theirs.
Glimmer of hope indeed, my goodness. Still have the operator in the hands of Exalt. Not going to go for the full shield this time. We still have that half shield from last round. This is definitely a very interesting situation for prospects. And it does actually spot out Exalt in that moment. Still going to hold the angle, but Hoppin getting super aggressive in the mid here, keeping it real spicy on the mid side. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, 4v4 on both of these sides. Prospects gonna have to do something big here.
Yep, they're not out of the clear yet. They do have something going for them, but they just need to make sure that they're not early rotating or trying to be overly aggressive. Brimstone, they're very passive. They're playing it safe a lot of the time, so you don't really need to bring the fight to them. The time will pressure them enough that you can just hold an angle or perspective. Prospects, that's kind of the double-edged sword of a new roster, is that individualistic talent just comes in, so you do get into that aggressive play style because it does complement it more. Miniature does drop down. They did hear that. Won't be able to find one. Doesn't even really get any damage on him. Now the A site's open. Going in, and there's the showstopper just trying to flush out anybody else. They might be able to get somebody through connector if anybody's going to be early about that, but nope, never mind. No aggression from that aspect of things, but prospects now are in difficult retake situation. Nobody's flanking, so now they're going to just go through a very small hole, and that's not really on. And also because there's still a smoker, they can't really make much out of Evan, and even if they do,
The silver flank
ready for them at A main is, oh well, Skim as well. That's not going to do it. That should wrap it up. Prospects need to hope XL can at least hold on to the 5K. Hasn't really shown up much in the kill feed, unfortunately. So not sure how well they fare on the operator in Haven. But see, moving down more than half. Again, Brimstone Gaming taking advantage of that aggression and catching them well off guard. Skim, will they find it? No, not to be the case. Good smoke, get out of the way there. Exalt barely making out with 5,000 credits.
Oh my goodness, that was one of those moments where you kind of clenched a little bit. You're put on the edge of your seat. You're watching to see if Exalt is going to survive that moment. But this time, Exalt is going to be elusive enough to keep that operator in hand. The only problem is they've got that loser's econ basically in that round where they're not going to get as much credits as they should have. But you see this very interesting buy. There's a couple of, I don't know, there's the Spectre, Sheriff, a couple of rifles, and the operator. So they're trying to get as much done with the operator as possible and kind of backing up Exalt in those weird angles.
Trying to match the buy, basically. Yeah, absolutely. Just doing what they can at the moment. Sometimes it is, it just be like that. But that's also a good thing about prospects as well. They do commit. Even if it doesn't work, they're committing. Right. That's also very wise of them to do. Just unfortunately, Brimstone Gaming has been playing them not like a fiddle, but certainly been a very defiant play. Jae-Sung will finally get first blood, and I think it's one of the first bloods I've seen coming in for prospects. Then they get traded out. DBK gets miniature. That's the smokes right there. B-side should be open if they choose to push on through, and they should be ready for it. There's not much hanging out there. Everybody's spread out thin on prospects. They're trying to cover all the angles, get as much info as they can to know which direction they're coming in. But with that means there's no trades available, and they'll just keep pushing on through. Jason, maybe they can be the hero that they need, but no. A good push, everybody from every direction. Hoppin tries to see if they can find anything with a showstopper, but it's not going to really work out. And yeah, it's just one by one. And once again, Exalt on the saving game for a full 45.
Ooh, man. Brimstone Gaming are just finding the weaknesses and pushing them. They are pushing the buttons, they are pushing the knife in, and they are showing prospects that they deserve to be here in the grand finals. I mean, I had my doubts here at the beginning, but they're definitely showing off that they are supposed to be here. It looks like DBK is using a little bit of that util just to kind of clear out these little corners, these awkward corners. Sending some rounds down range, but it's Exalt just chilling here, waiting for something to happen, someone to walk into his crosshairs. But this time, it doesn't seem like anybody is going to this time. It was really close there with the Cypher dynamic getting a little dicey here, but here we go. Brimstone Gaming bringing themselves up 6-1 up against prospects. We do see a lot of ultimates on the side of prospects that I do have to say, Josh Ortiz had the Rolling Thunder 2 rounds ago, you heard him use it, and he has it again. I don't know if that's because maybe the game let him keep it.
There is a moment where there is a moment of animation where if you still, it only goes, the ultimate only counts if you actually go for it. And if you get killed before the Rolling Thunder can be
Sent
sort of
out,
released,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
from the, because there's a charge animation before it releases, and if it gets killed during the charge, you get to keep it. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, animation times are very weird in this game, and it's super fascinating. I love it. Weird in a good way, I will say, just in case Riot's listening. Send me over that, buddy. Anyways, Exo finally getting something for their troubles with the 5,000 credits. You saved it for 2 rounds, now invest in it. Try to bring it back. Try to tie it as much as you can. Good Jericho discipline, but Josh RT sees through your clever ruse. So Exalt locking it down. Brimstone Gaming getting it done. There was a little bit of back and forth early on into the round, but there is already Mass Chaos Prospects. Very nicely done. Just sort of jumping through different parts of the map and trying to see what we can find. It all comes down to dynamic. Can they at least maybe get a post-plan situation? They're not really hurting for cash too much right now, so it's not the end of the world if they don't win this round.
No, not at all. And I do have to say that Dynamic has actually been doing some absolute work on the prospects. Look at this, 9-2 with 3 assists. I mean, that's a great place for your Sentinel to be in, especially a Cypher main going crazy, going ham with a lot of this util. And it looks definitely has the site all to themselves. Going to clear a lot of those corners, set up some of that util already to be able to keep themselves alive in the post-plant situation. 3 members of prospects still alive, and they're going to have to take this site from a lot of utility and a lot of information gathering utility as well. They're definitely trying to figure out what's going on, where the spike is at the moment, and be kind of careful about it for the first part, but this time they're going in hot and heavy. The Paranoia is going to miss. There is one and not going to be another one. Exalt finishing it off with a 3K with that Ghost. That is a nice position for them to be in. And there we go. They're going to put another point on the board up against Brimstone Gaming. It is 6-2 here in the grand finals. This is map 1 on Haven. My goodness, Bammy, what a crazy start to the match here.
They're able to get one more. That's good. They still need to work on it. I mean, to give benefit of the doubt to prospects, this is an attack-favored map, so it's not really too far-fetched that Brimstone would be able to get quite a bit of momentum on here. And look at that, speaking of momentum, economically, they have the money to work with this, and they should be in a prime position. Ultimate sides are pretty even for the most part. Nothing too overly aggressive, just mainly the Hunter's Fury online. Blade Storm comes out as well. Just going to be also a little bit of a TP bait. Just sort of just the battle cries coming in, seeing if they can scare their opponents. Well, don't need to worry about that too much as Kai will be able to get one reach, able to trade it out though. But shot through the smoke, Jae-Sung able to find it. Beautifully done. Will force them back. Neurotheft does reveal their location, but it's not much you can do with that information if you're down a player and down on some really low health on the side of Brimstone Gaming. They'll start rotating over, but I think prospects are starting to read into it as we do see that miniature is near through C connector.
This is the scary part about Haven, is that you can do stuff like this, like DBK's doing. This weird, I mean, you have 2 members pushing through onto C, going to plant the spike, but DBK is just chilling here in mid, just waiting for the rotation for the flush out, and there it is. Josh Ortiz is going to go down to DBK with a nice headshot from that Phantom, but there's still 3 members of prospects left over. Going to have a lot of util as well with this paint shell. Is going to try and get a little bit of damage done, but not this time. Lots of damage coming out for Miniature. Going to be able to take it down, but the shock darts are coming out in force, taking down Jae-Sung, but Miniature is probably going to be able to finish this one off. And wow, what a round. Expensive round. Oh!
Super duper expensive round.
Yes.
Wow.
Bemmy, I mean, what is going on?
Well, what is going on is, like you said, just sort of playing in those mid, playing for the flanks, but even then, prospects do read into that, and they do push in as a group. A lot of commitment, though they commit together. Again, that's something very important. Trades is such a vital component and factor to winning out rounds that are just not in your favor or on less favorable sides. Being able to work with that, staying together as a group, and also even though it's a very difficult retake, just having that advantage, the early frags and battle on A main just sort of left him in a whimpering position on the side of Brimstone Gaming. Prospects are certainly making contention to make this 6-6 in the first half, and if they do, I worry what the second half brings for Brimstone Gaming.
New dynamic in a one-on-one here. Hoppin is going to be able to take down Reach on the backside. This is very huge for prospects to stave off any sort of pushes, but we've seen Brimstone Gaming execute flawlessly on some of these put like 4v5 pushes onto a site. So I'm not necessarily worried for Brimstone Gaming in this situation, but with Hoppin here, kind of jiggle peeking this angle, this could mean some scary moments for Brimstone.
Could be. Well, Brimstone is able to get Josh, which is nice. So that does mean that they're not in a player deficit anymore. They do need to start committing, though. 30 seconds remaining roughly on the clock, and they're spread out. One over near C, heading over to mid, but it seems like they are making their way over to A. They need to push in onto this, though. If they're able to beat the rotate, Miniature, as long as they don't frag out here, Dynamic is the first one to go, but do they get a second one? They will! The spike is down, and that's it. Miniature locks it down with the smokes, makes it 3 1v1s for themselves, and Prospects, they're on their way.
Miniature holding it down, anchoring that A site, going absolutely ham. 3K right in a row. You love to see stuff like that, all with headshots. I mean, it just feels so nice to hit those headshots. Whew, Miniature's got to be feeling good right now, but Prospect's got to keep up this momentum, hopping on top of it. 12-9-2 on this raise. I love seeing this, like you were talking about earlier, Bemi, just the fact that they're able to use certain agents on certain maps instead of just mastering one agent in general for all maps. This is beautiful play, and a rare miss from Exalt is going to keep some of the players of Prospects alive. Going to use that smoke, but my goodness, through the smoke is going to be able to a hit from Exalt. What is going on?
Pure chaos and a lot of confidence. Dynamic once again, just it's falling apart. Prospects are just holding down the fort, not really budging. The aggression finally working in their favor, not in the sense of just pushing down the sites anymore. They're holding it and they're challenging it, not going further beyond than they need to. Nature does have the information. Dynamic's going to have to take that duel, and they know it. They're going to try their best. Able to get Miniature, that's at least one for their trouble, and they're in an ideal post-plan situation. They do have to go against 3 players, though, but will it be a 1v3 or will it be 3 1v1s? That is the question, my friend. Do you push in one by one or go through it? Nice little blast onto Graffiti means Dynamic couldn't fall back and had to take the duel head-on, and Prospects 1 round away from tying this up. A lot of confidence holding down the site, not being aggressive, but still being defiant, and this is what we love to see about this team.
Yes, we do. I mean, Prospects, I gotta say, they've been adapting to Brimstone Gaming's play style pretty darn well. I mean, the first couple of those first 4 rounds looked pretty dire for a second. They got that 1 round, and then Brimstone Gaming were able to pick up 2 more, but now it's a beautiful run from Prospects. They're coming back in a big way, and I feel like it's because they've kind of caught on to the way that Brimstone Gaming likes to play. And so now they're kind of sitting on the backside here, kind of switching around the sites where Exalt is hanging out. And this time, we're going to see a pretty big aim duel here, and it's going to be Reach that's going to win out on that one. There was 2 members, and I think they kind of spotted out DBK, but they missed out on the Jet watching with another operator, and that was a big duel in the favor of Brimstone Gaming. That kind of sets them up for a big win, especially with taking Miniature off of the field. Josh Ortiz is going to kind of have to handle a lot in this hold, and he's probably going to call the rotate here in just a sec.
Well, they see the gun barrel. They know that there's 1 player around here, and they do manage to catch him off guard. They're going to try to take on... Oh, the whip!
What?
Oh my gosh! They missed 2 off shots, and Josh Ortiz gets Dynamic, and now everything's falling apart. Goodness gracious, Prospects just got the opening of a lifetime to tie up this series. 2 missed shots, able to win the Jet Op duel, but still missing those shots has now put them in a position where the rotate's going to have to come in. C will be able to get planted on, but will it be enough as Josh will continue going for the flank? They account for it, but Skim isn't able to win out the duel. They're going to get a third one. Reach is going to see what they can find, but already Josh has made their way into garage, and they'll keep on pushing. They do need to keep on moving in. The Hop will go for it. Jae-Sung does get taken out, but the Flash should be able to put them in an awkward situation, but the paranoia, oh goodness me, never mind. Reach saves the day, and the Omen will keep things alive, and there we go. Brimstone got scary for them a little bit, but they secure it in the half at the end.
Ooh, big win for them, bringing them up 7-5 here at the half. That was crazy. That was a crazy paranoia. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Going to be able to block a lot of the vision from Hoppin. Just going to kind of run out there trying to get the spike down, but didn't know that there was an operator down C long, just staring at him, ready for the kill, ready for the destruction with that operator, and a beautiful 3K to finish off that first half from Reach with the operator. So this is now the half switch and a mindset switch for both of these teams. Prospects is definitely going to have to keep themselves up in the spirits here, but I have a feeling that they're going to be able to kind of change up a lot of their play style. I mean, I don't know if they could have gotten super aggressive. They could have gotten very patient, but it seemed like Brimstone Gaming were able to kind of find those weak points. It doesn't matter like which way the Prospects were doing, they were finding the weak points. But this time on the second half, where Prospects are the one attacking now, this could mean a totally different side. I don't know how it's going to be different from the first half, but we're just going to have to find out. What do you think, Bemi?
Certainly adaptability has been something going in for Prospects, and I do think that going into the attacker side with at least 5 rounds in the bank is still good for them, just because it is an attack favored map. Now the thing is that because of their pure chaos, is it going to work out for them? They do have, again, a very confident style. They don't push in too aggressively, but they do hold their sights with pride, and they do try to win out those duels. We saw it with Josh RT. They could have fell back. They could have waited for their team to come there, but no, they played it pretty riskfully, if you don't mind me saying. If it wasn't for Reach missing those shots, he wouldn't have been able to get the 2K, the third one as well, and this wouldn't have been as close of a last round if it wasn't for that. So, is the defense side going to be favorable? Brimstone, I'm going to be quite frank, I haven't seen too much of. We have seen them historically make it to playoffs, but they sort of fizz out between 32 and 16, usually. Now, Prospects, we have seen all these players make it very far into the brackets before, but they are a new team that has, not that much synergy. So again, it does come from the individualistic talent to synergy of a team, and will it work out? Exalt already says no. The individualistic side is going to work out as they do manage to get the first pick. Just shooting through the smoke, the bomb buddy will be able to find one more, and they don't even commit to it because you know what? That was all a clever ruse to rotate over onto the C site.
Yes, a clever ruse indeed, but it seems like Brimstone Gaming are kind of on top of it already, sending 2 members already down to C site, ready for the retake, ready for the stave off. The paranoia is going to come out. Nothing going to really come out of it, but Exalt, once again, getting super aggressive in this situation, trying to push up, get those headshots. DBK and Hoppin are going to be able to trade out kills there, but now Prospects and Brimstone Gaming are not tied up, actually. Prospects has 4, Brimstone 3 members left. They're going to have to play this nice and carefully, but there's not a lot of health in the health pools for Prospects. They're going to be able to take down members, but this flashpoint was just so huge from Prospects. There's 1 member left. It's just the Sova. It's just, I don't even know. Crazy chaos in this first round of the second half.
And a good trade from Prospects in the post-plant situation will allow them to do it. Utility just working out very much in their favor. Also, doesn't hurt to get the first blood as well. Makes it very useful. Retake makes it tough. And there we go. That's one of the things that we see. If you're down a player early into the round as defense, it just makes it so hard to come back from it. Makes it really almost dang near impossible, pardon my language, as we see them go into a Bucky buy, trying to work with some kind of money. If they do lose this, they will be able to buy with some rifles and such, but the armor will not be ideal.
No, not at all, but I feel like these Spectres are definitely playing into Prospect's favor in the fact that they are super aggressive on this side of the half. They're getting a lot of kills here, but no, CKY is going to be able to trade out Exalt with a nice headshot with the Sheriff. This is huge for them. Prospects are down a member, down Exalt, but they still have these Spectres. They're still up on the gun side, but Miniature, there it is, taking out CKY, doing a lot of damage with hopping with that paint shells, but oh my goodness, Josh Ortiz with these aiming down sights kills are just, it's just too crispy.
Too crispy, just like the chicken wings I ate earlier today, and now DBK has to fall back trying to see if they can take some weapons away, but no. Unfortunately, this investment will be a little too punishing, and we'll see if they do invest into it. Yes, they will, and as much as I fear they can get the rifles, but they can't get the armor, and they'll have very little utility to back it up as well if they invested too much into the last round with utility. But seems like they've fairly held on to it, but the health disadvantage against even the attacker's bonus round does make me worry. You can technically get away with bonus round more so in defense than attack, but it still worries me, Choice. I'm shaking in my boots. These Spectres, if you are able to trade with them, can work out very well.
Yeah, especially in the favor of Brimstone Gaming with these rifles in their hands. I mean, they've been going crazy, but once again, Exalt going absolutely ham, getting up onto the site, and look how much space they've taken in the matter of milliseconds, and that's exactly what needs to happen. But look at this rotation from Brimstone Gaming. He's going to send in the Paranoia, actually going to hit Jason. This is going to be a difficult position for them, but Miniature reaching. What? Reach is going to be able to get 2 quick headshots, and the trade from Hoppin is going to be there, but it's just Skim again on the backside, on the back foot, has a lot of health, full has not been touched yet. But Prospects, man, they set themselves up for a fantastic post-plant position. Hoppin might actually take the death from the shock dart. Bemmy.
What? No, never mind. All right, well, okay. So that was, well, I don't mean to say it, but the health disadvantage just was not good. Great entry frag coming in from Hopin, and Exalt will just pretty much secure the site, able to get a couple of frags, but yeah, that little to no armor to back up the weapons. I think at that point, even if you're going up against a bonus round where your rifles are better, I think you take the health route. I do feel like if you are not underperforming in frags, it does make more sense. But we'll see. Going into this, working with the loss bonus, trying to see if they can find anything to just make sure that they can tie up the series once more. Prospects still keeping up the momentum. Reach finding Exalt is a good way to start off things. We'll hand off over the rifle to start using the Blade Storm, and now we got a story on our hands for this round, Choice.
Oh, a very interesting story indeed. Skim kind of holding on to one of these one and done angles. This is a very interesting situation for them. Prospects down a member. Brimstone Gaming have the knives out currently, have all 5 members. And they're going to be rotating. They're going to be kind of reading into this push here. There's the fault line, letting them know that they are over here, but the flashpoint is going to come out in perfect positioning. Hoppin's going to be able to trade out that, but CKY pops out of garage. Is going to get the headshot onto Hoppin. This is huge. There's just 2 members left with 4 members left alive on Brimstone Gaming. Prospects have a mountain to climb here with those knives. They're about to come out from reach. This is a scary moment because they're... Oh no, the whiff! Oh no, the whiff from reach. It's going to be an unfortunate situation. Jae-Sung trying to get something done here. Probably going to keep the rifle. Run all the way to A? Bemmy, this is big brain stuff here.
Well, yeah, I mean, but unfortunately they know exactly where they are, and they only have 4 bullets, and ABK just shoots them like a deer in the headlights with a car. It's brutal, just gruesome. Sorry for that narrative, but that was something all I could think of at the moment. As we go into this next round, there will be at least a bye coming into this. They tie up the series. Brimstone are not out of it yet. They're giving Prospects a run for their money, but can they string some rounds together? It's 1 round, yes, but you need to get more.
Credit's not looking amazing on either side. I mean, CKY and DBK, they've been doing some work on the second half here. Living up
It's
to their duelist fates here. Jaesung sending in the Owl Drone. Lots of, oh no, the Hunter's Fury
Oh boy.
coming out, fishing for some information. Gonna hit one, not gonna do much damage more after that. Gonna hit Jaesung actually. The rival Sova on Prospect's side. There are 3 ultimates left on the side of Prospects, and they're gonna be able to do something with these. If we can see it from the shadows coming out for Miniature to bait out a little bit of information and a little bit of a rotate, we could probably do something big here and take the A site in the favor of Prospects, but we're just going to have to see what they're going to decide to do here.
Off your feet!
They decide to roll Thunder and just commit to the A side. Prospects are gonna move in. Skim just totally stunned, but Reach is ready. Drop some smokes to move around, but I think they're aware of it. Hearing the whooshing noise, they know they're at graffiti. Though Reach has already done some damage, but there is the showstopper. DBK able to drop it, does some damage. Now it's a 1v2. XL tries their best, but there's so many smokes and chaos as CKY able to see through it as a smoker themselves, and they will finally take the lead. Though, again, not out of it yet. They need to win this one last round, otherwise this... no, never mind. It's going to be Eco. I misread the credits.
Wow. I don't know. That was crazy. I just feel like Prospects kind of got lost in their own sauce there. Lost in all of those smokes and all the vision denial from both teams. There were smokes everywhere. I mean, every single smoke from both jets came flying out on the site, and it just kind of got hazy. The communication got a little hazy. CKY getting that headshot beautifully onto Miniature, the rival Omen on the side of Prospects. So that's going to be their primary smoker down on the side of Prospects. So a little bit tough. CKY doing some absolute damage to them right now. The Flashpoint's going to come out as well as the Paranoia. But my goodness, this movement from Brimstone Gaming.
Well, this Eco is not faring well in any openings, and the Flawless will help Brimstone keep this lead going. Could they finally get something? Could they finally get a map? Can they do it? Can they get this map going? If they can get to match point, they're in double digits finally, so this is showing some good signs. The buy round will come in from Prospects, though. Ultimate-wise, Hoppin does have that showstopper, which has shown some good results in the past. And they are fragging out right now, so I feel like an opening kill could come from the showstopper if they choose to do so. I don't know that CKY is there. XL able to already find them. Does give them confidence to maybe try to push over onto B or maybe rotate, but these flashes tell me they want it.
That's a very interesting.
Or not.
Yeah. It's a very interesting
mind.
flashpoint because it seemed like, you know, they were going to push up, but this is huge from Reach. My goodness, almost got the collateral there. Going to take out Exalt. That's a huge frag for the side of Brimstone Gaming. That's going to be their primary, excuse me, not their primary fragger, but just a heavy fragger indeed for the side of Prospects. My goodness, Reach is just bringing it to Prospects right now, using this operator into its fullest capacity. Here we go. 3 members left alive for Prospects. Miniature is going to take down DBK. Reach taking some damage.
Phew. Oh my gosh.
I mean, Bemmy, that, wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
They must be I was gonna say, like, they must be from Halo Reach, because they're, like, Master Chiefing it up right here with I don't know. Anyways, there's something along the lines there. It's grand finals. Moving on into this. Brimstone Gaming, though, gotta give them credit. Trying to give Prospects a taste of their own medicine, just sticking it to the site. Not really worried if their teammates can come back and back them up quickly enough. Alright, Prospects, they're going to go into this Ego. We want to try to make this as expensive as possible for Brimstone, but we're one map away from match point, and it's very likely that this is one round away from it, and this most likely will be the round, unless these sheriffs are absolutely catastrophic for Brimstone Gaming here, choice.
Yeah, DBK just has a perfect angle on the Omen. Miniature not going to be able to do much in this situation. Exalt's going to trade out DBK. This is tough for them. Reach still has this operator, and the knives are coming out. This is going to be huge for them. Going to be able to push into the site as fast as possible and use maybe a right click just to take down a couple of members of Prospects. There's 3 members left alive. They're going to put down the cyber cage, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do anything up against 2 members of Prospects. And here we go, doing a little bit of damage onto Skim with that. Oh my goodness, Reach once again using those knives to their fullest capacity. Hopping though with the paint shells, going to be able to take down Skim. There's 2 members left alive on both sides. This is huge. Oh.
Okay. Garage was not in Brimstone's favor for that. Whoops. Okay, well, Sheriffs certainly get away with a lot more stuff when they are closer to the opponent, which in a very claustrophobic space like that can certainly work. Now, Prospects, they're not out of the woods yet. There's been a lot of successful rounds for Brimstone, so they can still buy into this. But with Rifles as opposed to Sheriffs still fighting for their match point, does bring a little bit of confidence as they will go into this round. Ringing true, but I think right now Prospects, they're starting to now look for opening picks and then just falling back. They're playing for picks and then deciding where they want to commit. I do commend them for that. Or give them props to that, because that's just very smart. Try to get as much info as they can. CKY does that as well. Let's try to see what they can do. DPK does, however, shed the first bit of blood as they do manage to find it. There was a little bit of garage play happening there, though. Doesn't give them too much info. They'll still try to commit over into the A side. There's so many smokes. My goodness, Brimstone just ready for it. CKY is the master of smokes. They've just been so manipulative with them.
Absolutely. Prospects are definitely going to have to put a stop to these smokes, as well as put a stop to the operator that's on the field. Check these corners, but Exalt is going to go down. That is 2 down for Prospects. There's 2 members left alive, but Miniature kind of following up here, hitting some headshots themselves. DBK, there's just 1 member left alive, and the Hunter's Fury is going to come out and allow DBK to take down Miniature, and that is going to be game point here in Grand Finals Game 1. Brimstone Gaming taking it to Prospects, that's for sure.
Was very surprised that Brimstone almost won that in the way that they did, just pushing in through a connector alone and just sort of 1 by 1 does make that difficult. But wow, what a brilliant Hunter's Fury from Skim, able to put enough pressure, try to go for that rotate, but they just got picked off. Enough for the ultimate just to go through. It's kind of one of the reasons why sometimes you'll see a Killjoy for the lockdown. It makes it easier to push over into the A side if you're only coming from there. But here we go, already off the bat. Will Brimstone close out? A lot of flashes. The Hunter's Fury tries to see if they find anything, but DBK with a trigger discipline able to find 3! Oh my gosh, there it is, and there's the connector, the ace for the clutch, and oh my goodness, Brimstone Gaming win map 1 against what I thought was maybe going to be just sort of a walk in the park for Prospect. They now have a competition on their hands.
I am in absolute disbelief of that last ace. What just happened? DBK just went absolutely nuclear in that moment. Wow, what a beautiful round for Brimstone Gaming. Definitely proving me wrong and bringing it to Prospects in a big way. 13-9 here on Haven. What a beautiful first round for them. I mean, their aggression on defense side, kind of off the back of Reach's operator plays. Man, they just looked so crispy on the defense side, as well as their just weird tempered aggression on the side of attacker. Man, their win condition was just like in the pocket basically the whole time.
Yeah, one of those things that worked out well for them was that you did see them grouped up a lot more and able to get those trades. While they did commit to those sites, there was moments where it just kind of came down to who fragged out the most in that given situation. There was a lot of moments where also they had great situations where they were set up to trade it out if they needed to, and that does also bring in some self-confidence. But we gotta say, at the end of the day, though, it did come into a lot of individualistic plays, and it seemed like Brimstone was happy to play their game and outplayed them in a way that just sort of made it feel like if you want to be aggressive in this way, we will hold our site. We will just take it to you to the fight. You need to either land your shots or you're just going to have a bad time. Trigger discipline as well came into play there near the end, but also midway through the match as well. There was a lot of good patience coming in for, Brimstone. That just, much in the way that Brimstone is old and patient and is wise beyond his years, so did Brimstone in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. They played pretty wise in that situation. Definitely gave the room and the respect to prospects that they deserved. And I feel like that ultimately gave them the win there on map 1 of the grand finals here. So we're going to jump into a quick little break before we go into game 2. I don't know what the map is at the moment, but when we come back,
Ascent.
Oh, yes, map 2 will be Ascent, so this is going to be a very interesting one indeed. We haven't seen Brimstone on there just yet. We have seen Prospects, though, and they beat a pretty fantastic team. So we're going to see what happens on the other side of this break. We'll see you then.
Let's go. Apply now at redbullcampusclutch.com. Let's go. Apply now at redbullcampusclutch.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are just about to jump into Game 2 of the Grand Finals here on Ascent between Prospects and Brimstone Gaming. We just saw Haven and Brimstone Gaming take it away from Prospects 13-9. That was Brimstone Gaming's pick, their map pick. So we're just about to jump into Prospects map pick on Ascent. We were just talking about it, Bemi. We were kind of breaking down what we kind of saw there on Haven, and it seemed like Brimstone Gaming just had Prospects number there on Haven. But I mean, we've seen Prospects play on Ascent a couple times today, and they are pretty contentious on this map.
They're fierce. They do play a lot more of the picks that I would see a lot of the time. That is also something we talked about, is the juggling of agents. It does make it sort of difficult to really see that coming to fruition a lot of the time, as it does spread you thin. I mean, if you're able to master them all, then you are a jack of all trades, and I have nothing but respect for you. And then still I have nothing but respect for you for trying. But it does mean that if you run into a specialist of this agent, you are going to have to rev it up to 11 and make sure that you can try to contest them. We saw Miniature on the Omen, which was a very interesting play. I'm sure they're a great Omen, but if they run into CKY, which seems to be an Omen specialist, then you are going to run into some serious trouble. So now we do see them going on more of the comfort picks. Again, maybe this is one of the reasons why we don't see them on Haven too much, is because of this aggressive play style that they have. It does seem to have too many sites for them to really feel comfortable in their own skin. So we are going into their map pick. It can work out for them. This is more of what we're expecting to see. I do see that Brimstone still committing to pretty much everything that they had. They do have dynamic on the Killjoy now, though, and that's fine. That is just another Sentinel that they can work with, and it does seem like everybody's sticking to their roles now. So we are most likely seeing a map 3. It depends on how this mid play goes. Once more, we saw from Zoomer versus Prospect. excuse me, that this would be a big factor to the game. That mid would just sort of be this overarching challenge of who can control this, and whoever controlled this controlled the entire map and could dictate where they wanted to go.
Right. Well, we're just about to find out what's going to happen, but before we do that, during this beautiful fly-through of this gorgeous map of Ascent, we're going to bring up real quick the Red Bull Campus Clutch. If you guys are in, if you are in college and you play Valorant, you should definitely sign up for this. Head on over to redbullcampusclutch.com right now to see if you can apply for this. And this is a global 5v5 Valorant tournament open to all university students from over 50 countries. Pretty insane on this scale. Not going to lie, this groundbreaking competition challenges players of all levels to team up. So, I mean, once again, this is a global tournament from over 50 countries. So head on over again to redbullcampusclutch.com right now to apply yourself, your team, anybody, and just qualify for this, because this seems like a really fun thing that Red Bull's doing. We talked about it in the first game here, the grand finals. We were talking about which campuses or which colleges we were going for. I said OSU, you said LSU, I do believe, Bemi, if I am correct. And so, yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So if you're a college student, don't forget to head on over to redbullcampusclutch.com and get yourself signed up for that. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and no reason to skip homework. So, hey, go for it. You know, we all need a reason to not do homework sometimes. We need to escape from that overwhelming amount of paperwork or just that one quiz. Anyways, enough about Zoom classrooms. We are about to zoom into this match where we're going to see already Exalt rushing in with the shorty, trying to see what they can do to contest market, not defense connector, as they will move on over. And very smartly of Brimstone, they will just kind of do what they can to just vibe out in the back. Skim will be able to find a third, but oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Already off the bat, we do see picks, and not enough smokes will be able to cover the crosshairs of Brimstone Gaming to win out that pistol.
Brimstone Gaming, they've got prospects on lock right now. They know that they're aggressive. They know that they're good aimers. So what they're going to do is they're going to use their utility, hang back, and wait for them to come into their site and use those crossfires, use their utility to really punish the aggression from prospects. And we're seeing that right now, Bemi, and it's looking pretty crispy on the side of Brimstone Gaming. And prospects, they're going to have to do something big here to be able to, handle some of the utility usage, and just the fact that Brimstone Gaming just like to hang back and chill, just like you were talking about.
Too. I mean, well, when you have to go through an armada of smokes as prospects have presented, that you can kind of hang out, and it is going to be another round on the board for them unless something magical happens. It is just strictly pistols for prospects, and already not going to be able to get the A side at all. That is totally denied for them. Not even, they will have smokes back on, but player disadvantage. So what do you think needs to happen for prospects to make a good attack round work for them here?
They're going to have to go a little slower, I think, on some of these pushes. And they're going to have to be wary of some of the crossfires that Brimstone Gaming set up. I mean, you just saw it in Heaven. The Killjoy. Look at this merry-go-round happening right now, but CKY is going to finish it off on Jaesung. But you saw that Reach was chilling behind that little box that he was just at there. The Killjoy started moon booting off of Heaven and rotating, quote-unquote, towards the B side, and that gave prospects the false sense of security to push onto the site, push up into Heaven, and they were able to take out Exalt and another player of prospects, and that's 2-1 before the trade happened. So really unfortunate stuff for prospects there, but they can't fall for some of these some of these baits.
It's true. When you don't have much to work with, you can fall for a lot more. Now you're gonna see prospects with some weapons. It is the bonus. You can get away with a little more on the bonus when you're in the defense. So let's see how much Brimstone can get away with. Drone for drone. Just gonna say hello to each other. Hello. Because now they know that there's drones in mid, and that's about it. Maybe Skim could find something. Market seems to be the play for them. Prospects really want to have this control of mid, and Brimstone's okay with giving it up here as they will prepare themselves to get headshot apparently, as Exalt will be able to find Skim off the bat. They do fall back though. A little bit of a rotate, still leaving a mystery for Brimstone to figure out whether they're going to commit to the A or B side. Potentially, they are holding their sights, which is very good for them. Then throw the molly, slow down production here. Does mean that they get to set up here a tree. Really, their only goal is to take as much weapons as they can away. Exile tries to catch off guard, skips, but net catch off the jet, but it's not going to be the case. Actually going to get tagged down. CKY comes to save a day. Now it's a little bit of an interesting play here. Rich now has the ultimate ready, but Dynamic gets two. Is there going to be enough for the Bladestorm to find somebody? They're just going to rush on over to the site. Last two are set up at A main, but the Dynamic is only going to get the last one. Josh left all by themselves, able to shoot down one, but the trades come in and beautifully done. Dynamic wins the day right there.
My goodness, my. Spicy stuff from Brimstone Gaming. They are going to be taken down to one member, but Dynamic with that spicy play, being able to get quite a few kills there. 6-0 for Dynamic right now. I mean, it's the story of the Killjoys today. I mean, Miniature had the MVP earlier today, I do believe, in the semifinals up against Zoomer Academy. On the Killjoy here in a sense as well, but it is kind of the battle of those Killjoys right now. Dynamic winning that out right now, using that util usage, being on the defender side is kind of a much better place for Killjoy to be in this situation. But Brimstone Gaming kind of have Prospects number. They're gonna have to do something big here because it seemed like Prospects should have taken that round away from Brimstone Gaming, but my goodness, when Dynamic does stuff like that, it's kind of scary.
It is. Once again, working with very little Prospects. Will try to take some weapons away and get Dynamic, but that's about it. It may seem, unless CKY is trying to go for the Dragon Ball Z and just Kamehameha with that. That's not to be the case. Skin, though, will be able to mitigate it, unless Hoppin. They did manage to get Phantom in their hands, and they will push on through. Rolling Thunder comes in. Reach is still able to stabilize. It's still a 2v1. Very little health, and there we go. Reach will able to stabilize. Prospects nicely done. Takes a few weapons away, but still a 4-0 for Brimstone Gaming means that they'll just buy back into this easily. Makes the economy a little wonky, but they're still looking comfortable.
Very interesting stuff from Brimstone Gaming. It seems like they've built themselves up so good in, I mean, over the weeks. You know, we've seen them in the Valorant Sunday Showdown a lot recently, and they've just been working on themselves. You can definitely tell they've been in the lab right now, because just the amount of team play that they have together is looking really good. DBK pushing out, is able to win the gun duel in that situation in A main. Like, how, Bemmy?
Well, a lot of self-confidence, a lot of utility. Just the pure pressure alone was able to work out. Here comes Lockdown comes in. No Hunter's Fury to address this, I believe, so they will be good to go with this. CKY gonna shadow step into the molly, unfortunately, just to get out of the lockdown, and they will pay for it with their life. It will still be able to get a couple of fractures. Dynamic still adding on to the pressure. Door not close in tree. DPKA will be able to get the peek out of it. Here we go, just running it amok, and they will be able to just run it back in. The early frags, even though the lockdown was great to get the site, just not enough players to hold it down. And great aggression from Brimstone. 5-0, still keeping it strong. Another eco has to come from here. They're working off a loss bonus at this point here, Choice.
Yes, they are. It's looking a little sketchy in terms of econ, but I just gotta point out DBK's confidence is through the roof. I mean, paranoid and pushing out into A main when they know for a fact that there's at least 2 members in A main. but Prospects, they weren't looking the right way. And that allowed DBK to take a member out for free and stay alive and be able to get a multi-kill for that round win. Taking him up, look at this, through the wall.
Really?
This is crazy stuff.
It's certainly something to write home about. CKY also just vibing in mid right now. Just feeling so good. There is not much competition that they have to work with. They are just don't have that crazy of weapons. Again, Prospects just doing what they can with what they have. A couple of weapons, a Sheriff, a Spectre, not going into the rifles, just trying to work with the economy that they have, make it as expensive as possible. But working off of loss bonuses means that you're losing quite a few rounds, so they'll be able to buy into this going in. But I don't know, just really Brimstone Gaming, so much going for them. And now, as we also will take a look at the ult economy, I do believe there's quite a few ultimates online. Indeed, there is going to be another buy round for Prospects, but can they tie the series? Can they pull what they did over in Haven Choice?
I mean, as of right now, it's looking like it, Bemmy. 6-0 right now. I mean, there is a buy on the side of Prospects. You see an Odin in the hands of Miniature. Very interesting situation there. But Brimstone Gaming, they just have synergy. They've got confidence right now, and they are showing it off right now. But there it is, a very interesting information gathering ultimate from the side of Brimstone Gaming. We might actually see another one from Prospects in this situation, but Hunter's Fury could pop out as well to clear out Garage or at one of the sites so that Prospects can push out onto it.
Moving on through in mid once more, taking on duels if they can reach.
Oh, no.
Ready for it. They're going to dash away. Does manage to bait out with the jump peak, seeing what they can find. They will still try to challenge this reach. A little overconfident, I would say. Though Skim able to try to bring it down. The mollies will slow them once more. That's the player advantage right there, and they also got the information. Miniature just mowing them down. The smoke looking so great from Josh Ortiz, but there it is, CKY. Almost looked like they were able to get 2 for 2, but now it's 2v4 for Brimstone Gaming, and it's looking good. Prospects could finally bring this back. Maybe they'll be able to tie up the series. DBK will try to contest this though. Able to find one, gets the backside. Oh my gosh, Dynamic! Are you kidding me? It's the Sentinels all over again. It's now coming down to the 1v1. Miniature gonna try to see if they can pick them out with the operator. Just back them up, but they could just wait for time, but they're trying to win a duel in the head pick. The beanie reveals their location, and Dynamic once again gets a 3K, clutches it out, and we have secured the half for Brimstone Gaming.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say. This is definitely a spicy matchup. Dynamic trying to prove that they are the better Killjoy. Doesn't matter that Miniature had the MVP in semifinals. This is the Dynamic show right now with 12-1-2. Absolutely rolling over Prospects at the moment. Got their number down, and they're just using their utility to the max, winning these gunfights and pushing together as a team with synergy, and it's working out in the favor of Brimstone Gaming. You love to see stuff like that when teamwork makes the dream work for real in real time right in front of you. Ooh, it is going to spot out, and this showstopper might actually pop out from DBK. It's going to be a scary moment for them, but actually, Exalt's going to be able to see the shoulder.
Good opening pace as well. Once again, it's that little bit of overconfidence. You get a little comfy for your own good.
Yeah.
You know you're firmly in the lead, and you can afford money like this. It's never a good idea to try to give as much of an opening as possible for your opponents, especially for Prospects. Such a respectable team. Even though they are a new roster, they have so much history collectively, and they will be ready to do it. Dynamic, though, trying to make a name for themselves. Certainly memorable already off the bat, able to find one. Though the site is secured, and they have quite a amount of a challenge ahead of them. A lot of information. Doing drop the Neo Swarm does mean that they blocked out 2 onto Cat. Could potentially mean do something here. Oh, also drops the lockdown here. They're all by themselves. Does get countered by Jason. That means that they should not have enough time. There's too much pressure. 1v2. Oh, they missed also on the arrow as well. Diego trying, not to be the case. Hoffman will be able to secure it, but not for lack of trying. Good job from Brimstone, but great job from Prospects. Able to finally get around the board. 7-5 wouldn't be all that bad if they could get it.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely better than, 11-1.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely better than that. So
That's real.
Prospects coming back a little bit here. I feel like Brimstone lost their focus just for a split second. You know, you saw DBK push pretty aggressively, and because of Prospects' kind of weird movement or just weird positioning, kind of made DBK lose their footing for a second, kind of peeked their shoulder out in that corner, in that angle. They were able to be taken out there pretty quickly, and I feel like Prospects, you know, if they can stay on top of the way that they push through a site, they'll be able to really bring it back up against Brimstone Gaming.
Tries to get the shot, but Reach not able to swing around fast enough. Throws the paranoia, but unfortunately, you're only coming from one direction, so they know exactly where to shoot. Nicely done. Dynamic able to find one, but already the shots are being missed here, and the plays are not exactly what I would call ideal from Brimstone. Now it's 2v4. Once again, and try to see what they can make here. They will have information that nobody's in credit card. Everybody is on site having a party. Even the chicken, the turret, enjoying themselves, vibing out on the site. It's a party over here. Do you want to join Brimstone? You're not allowed. You're not invited. It's only cool kids over here. Dynamic says, I am cool. Look at all my frags, but not to be the case. They will get wallbang, like BBK, and they will just try to save what money they have left. What went from a very convincing 7-0 is now sort of slowly falling apart for Brimstone. They will be able to try to buy into this next round, but overall Prospects now showing some promise.
It feels like the focus has kind of switched sides here. Prospects kind of really dialing in their focus here in this latter part of the first half here on Ascent in Game 2 of the Grand Finals. This is Brimstone Gaming versus Prospects, and it seems like Prospects are having a hard time getting started here up against Brimstone Gaming and their really coordinated attacks on the defense side. But this time, Prospects are kind of finally catching on here a little bit. It's kind of a little late to be catching on, but they're definitely bringing it to Brimstone Gaming here. 2 rounds in a row for them, and it seemed like their focus is kind of feeling a lot better. Oh my goodness.
Okay, well, focus. It's back into it. They're doing what they can. Rolling Thunder does come out, but there's already very little players onto the site. Early picks like that, not much you can do there, unfortunately, and already Reach working on redeeming themselves. They managed to get the op saved from them, so they're trying to make its money worth, and it seems like they are able to. It seems so promising for Prospects to start trying to bring it back. Wow. Brimstone really taking them to school in their map pick, much like you can do when you sign up for the USA qualifier of Red Bull Campus Clutch.
Yeah, nice. I love that, Bemmy. Bringing it to them. I'm feeling NA is going to be bringing it to the Red Bull Campus Clutch. That's for sure. Let's go OSU. Sorry. Anyways. Man, this is definitely a schooling from Brimstone Gaming on Prospects. Definitely teaching them. This is a learning moment for Prospects. Indeed, we've seen them absolutely dominate on this map, but this time it's them getting dominated by Brimstone Gaming. We still see the showstopper on the side of Brimstone Gaming. DBK is has been holding on to that for a couple of rounds now. Hasn't found the right opportunity as of yet. But Reach, once again, so deadly with this operator.
Very true. They have to respect it, and they won't. Miniature tries to challenge it as best they can. It's going to be another round on the board, most likely, as DBK holds it down in wine. says quit your complaining. They have to just use a blast to get them out of there. Alright, well, there's at least something going for them. They do know that Reach is there. They can't get out of there. They were stunned. Though the raid boss is still alive for Brimstone Gaming. Dynamic is who I'm talking about. You gotta be careful about it. They will be able to lock down the site, but they have to be careful. Reach forgoes the operator, tries to go into it with information from the drone. Notice there's a couple there. Even gets a tag, drops the smoke. They're gonna try to push on through. Dynamic isn't able to find anybody. A little bit of damage here and there, but still, clock is ticking. There's already a very hard task. They're going to do what they can. Skim, able to find one that's at least one person, but they're already ships of the night through the smoke, making things awkward. They're able to find one near engine. Josh RT's the last one remaining. They're going to commit to the defuse here. They have to. There's not going to be enough time, and it looks like a third round for Prospects on the board.
Woo! That was fun. Oh, he's gonna die to the spike, but my goodness, that was just Prospects using their utility to get in the minds of Brimstone Gaming. Definitely got really awkward there in some dicey situations on both sides where they're kind of just running right past each other because of the smoke, and all that timing kind of worked in the favor of Prospects, and they, you know, they're bringing it to Brimstone Gaming as well. Gonna set them back a little bit economically. They're kind of getting on the same footing, but it's still looking like Brimstone's half at the moment. But Prospects gonna have to continue this on this last round of the first half to hopefully bring themselves to 8-4 instead of 9-3. Would be obviously a much better score line for them.
You should run.
But there it is, the jump lockdown. And there's not going to be a Hunter's Fury, Bemmy, to be able to stop it.
Yeah, they have to give up the site. So, Skim really was ambitious, trying to hold on to it. Are they going to find him? Hello?
What?
Nobody's looking for him.
What?
Skim gets to try to frag out. I do think they're going to get cut off by somebody. B-Bay! Oh no, but they got two! Are you kidding me? Holy smokes, Miniature has to go for the shot, but no way! I didn't believe this! Skim! Oh, why didn't you check Switch? Somebody needs to check Switch! No! Why did that work? Why did that happen? That shouldn't have happened.
Oh no! A painful blunder from Prospects cost them an 8-4 half, and now they are in a really difficult situation, 9-3 at the half switch. And they're going to have to do something big. They are on the defense side, which I have a feeling Miniature is going to kind of shine on this side here with a lot of utility usage. We are seeing some guns, some fun guns. You know, stockpiling, like you said before, being able to have both the classic and the shorty is kind of a nice thing to have. Give you some range options. But man, they're gonna have to do something big here to be able to stave off the momentum that Brimstone have in their favor, and it's gonna take a lot of coordination from Prospects and a lot of willpower as well. I mean, we're quite a few hours into this, Bemmy, and you know, they're probably feeling it by now.
That's also true. They definitely probably are feeling a little bit of that tired. They're like, you know what, I could go to bed anytime soon. But still, it's for the sake of the fans. They just gotta keep it going. Now, we're gonna move on into the attack. Brimstone has been very calculated, and they won on defense last time on Haven, which is not technically favored, but it is their map pick. I wonder how they will do on attack. This may be where Prospect starts bringing it back and start racking up rounds. I don't know. Has there been any signs of like good aggression or attack from Brimstone? I wonder. That makes me feel confident about their attack. Well, they certainly stuck together as a group. They try to get for the trades. First pick, already helpful. Able to lock down Cat. Doesn't have anywhere to go. They'll just go through Market over into B. Skip all that Molly shenanigans. Though the Molly was calculated from Miniature. And even though Hoppin tries to challenge it, Tim's gonna go down already. This is already good pushing. Miniature will get one with the shorty, gets a second one as well. I mean, that's already something that you don't want, but the spike has been planted, and it's a 2v2. And, they should be in prime position to be able to still keep this round alive. Has information where they are. Dynamic just goes for it, and they are rewarded. Now it's 1v2. They do peek out for the head, but they still pushing together. Brimstone Gaming staying together as a group, calm and collective, and getting the trades that they need to secure. A brilliant round from them.
This is, I feel like this is what Brimstone Gaming do best. They work together, they stay together, they peak together, they rush together. And I feel like the beginning, I can't remember who it was, but right at the beginning, it was a really tough single-person peek onto 2 or 3 members of Brimstone Gaming. They were taken out instantaneously, even though that member had a sheriff, had a good lineup with the crosshair, but it just didn't work in their favor because 2 members of Brimstone were there with barrels staring right at him. And Exalt is going to have to back off and have the, have the team to back him up this time.
Ready to go. Utility out. Drone in just to get that information. And you know what? All that noise, just a bait as they get over to the mid play. So I wonder if they'll run into anybody. They're just throwing out smokes. They are aware of this. They do see the jet smoke in mid. That means that they're going to start rotating. Jaesung's going to try to get ready, see if they can find anything with this pistol, but not to be the case. It's just going to be mowed down. The eco. I don't usually talk about these too much, but they need to happen here, and they will. Hoppin finds 2. So Miniature, I love this player. One of the first players I've followed in the beginning of my Valorant days here in esports. I don't think they're going to be able to do it with a Bucky and 23 health, but I've seen weirder things. It's NA, but yeah, clutching is the jaws of Brimstone Gaming. 11th round on the board. Prospects, they should be able to buy into this quite well. Big question for me is, are they going to try to focus on buying into this so that way Prospects has no opening, or they can just go for the bonus? And it seems like bonus is what we're doing.
Yeah, DBK with the Phantom. We're seeing a very interesting buy from the side of Prospects. We're going to have... I don't know if they're going to have too much of a hard time on this round, but they're going to have to do something big up against the Brimstone Gaming. Obviously, they have been pushing. Look at this aggression from Exalt. It's going to be taken down from Reach. A really unfortunate situation. Reach absolutely doing work with this judge, bringing the judgment down onto Prospects.
Oh my, yalla! Oh my gosh. Okay, Brimstone Gaming ready with this rush. DBK also brilliant shot. This is it. If Prospects doesn't win this, they lose this map altogether. They will have to go on the eco, and it's looking like almost a flawless round. Josh Ortiz, they have almost nothing going for them. They have at least a Phantom. They're going to try to save onto this. This is where they just fight for overtime. There's not going to be much money in the bank. They might be able to work with the loss bonus, but it's just going to be wildly too crazy. And they're getting the 3 1v1s, but CKY finishes off in the 3rd. And there we go. Match point for Brimstone. I didn't think we were going to say this, but we're here now, Choice. We're living in a world where Prospects is maybe not closing this one out. We have Brimstone, who has been top 32 and top 16 players, now maybe grand champions of Week 47.
Well, they've definitely been putting the work in. You can tell they are playing like one cohesive unit. The absolute amount of synergy coming out from Brimstone Gaming, it's kind of oozing right off of them. So a beautiful play by them. They are on match point. If they win this round, just like Benny was saying, they are going to win it all. Here in the Valorant Sunday Showdown, week number 47, DBK opens up the fight, the blood onto Exalt, and this is looking a little dire already, Bemmy.
Showstopper comes in, tries to flush out Tree. They see him at the very inconvenient time. Jaesung able to get them, but is it going to be enough? Dynamic also pushing on through. There's just 2 players left. They are trading back and forth, but the paranoia comes out. They know exactly where Hoppin is. They're going to try to do what they can, but CKY just sort of steps on over. Jae Sung's the last one remaining, but is the gun out too little too late? And there it is. Your champions of Week 47 is Brimstone Gaming.
Wow, they did some crazy, spicy stuff all throughout this grand finals. It's exciting to see kind of a newer player or a newer team out on the field of the grand finals here in the Valorant Sunday Showdown. That's why we do this every single week, to see the new talent pushing themselves to the limit. And Brimstone Gaming definitely pushed themselves here. You could tell they wanted it all the way to the end, and they brought it to Prospects, taking them down 2-0 here in the grand finals.
It was spectacular to see Brimstone with the coordination of trades and value of utility worked out so well. The ability to adapt to a team that is still developing their own synergy. We got to give it to Prospects. They are sort of a newly formed roster working together with superstars, and they are still superstars even if they just take second place, because this is not the last grand finals we're going to see them in. I have a feeling that VCS is going to be shook to its core after this week. This is my hot take because of how this week played out with everything going on in the grand scheme of things of Valorant. We're going to see a whole new era of VCS upon us, Choice.
Oh, I absolutely believe it. The amount of talent that comes out. And speaking of talent, Reach is your HyperX MVP of the grand finals with that 286 average combat score. That Cloud Core Stinger headset is all yours, Reach. Absolute monumental and nuclear gameplay from this Jet throughout the entire grand finals today. Bemi, wow. I'm scared of Reach a little bit, especially with an op in their hands.
I am too, but I'm also maybe even way more scared of Dynamic. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
So
gosh.
many clutches, so many frags. Today was a story of the Sentinels being champions for their teams, and gotta give it to them. But yeah, Dynamic working in so many wondrous ways. That's all I gotta say. Really great series. It was a 2-0. Would have loved to see a map 3, but you know what? A great fight from both. But Brimstone put up a great show, Choice.
Yes, they did. And that's going to be it up for us here at the Valorant Sunday Showdown. What a crazy series we've had today. Thank you so much for joining us throughout today's crazy games. We'll be back next week for the 48th iteration of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. And don't forget, we're going to probably see a little bit of Astra in next week's Valorant Sunday Showdown. She will be available to play for all the players next week in the Valorant Sunday Showdown. So get ready for that. We're going to see some big brain Astral plays coming out from all these Astra mains and all these high GLs. It's going to be crazy stuff, Bemi. Well, any last words for our viewers here, Bemi, before we head off?
I would like to say a special congratulations to signing up for the Red Bull Campus Clutch event. If you sign up for NA, that you should totally join. And, thank you to also our wonderful team at VCS for being able to do this. I want to just give a quick shout out to Mystic, working behind the scenes. Real respect to them for being a fantastic observer. And shout out to you, Choice, and all our other amazing casters that put on a fantastic show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bemi. Well, we will see you next week. So that's going to be it for us. Peace out.